Lady of Heaven or Protector of Prostitutes? Well, shoot, you know what they say. All is fair in love and war, right? Anyways, y'all aren't going to want to miss this. Watch all the way till the end, especially if you want to see this look. This is Makeup and Magic. Inana, also known as Ishtar, is probably one of the most complex of all of the Mesopotamian goddesses. So her name in is Sumerian, and it probably means Lady of Heaven, while her name in Akkadian is Ishtar, as we know it, and is related to that of the Syrian goddess Astarte. Now there's some speculation about whether that may be Ashura, but we're not getting into all that right now. So Inanna was variously said to be the daughter of On. Now, Enlil or even Enki, but in the myths of the death of her lover Dumuzi, Inanna is the daughter of the moon god Suin and sister of the sun god Utu. And so, now her elder sister Ereshkigal is also the queen of the underworld, and there's like an insane, intense like jealousy that rages and rivalry that rages between the two of them. And so it gets pretty freaking interesting. I'm using again my Ulta 24M. Let's get in there. Now Inanna's principal shrine was in the great city of Uruk. And although it's likely that local goddesses in other places were also assimilated into her cult over time, that may explain why Inanna combines several different roles, which seem incompatible. So if you were kind of wondering about that. And this is again Retro Rose Ulta. Now, as the Lady of Heaven, Inanna was identified with the planet Venus, whose disappearance and reappearance in the night sky can actually be reflected in the myth of the goddess's descent and return from the underworld. And so, Inanna is also sometimes portrayed as the keeper of the cosmic laws, or the me. I should have started it with the importance of the me, but I don't feel like that would actually get into the story, so I'm probably not going to start it with that. That's not what I'm going to title this as. Now, I am just using one color from this so far, and that is Desert Sand, and that is my ATHR Beauty palette. So when I was like, don't judge me, because it's a little, I need to clean it up. I just haven't gotten to it yet. So Inanna's constant quest for power eventually led her to try to take control of her sister's realm of the dead. And this lust for power may have even complemented her role as the goddess of war, in which she was described as enjoying battle as if it were a game or a dance. And she is portrayed in Mesopotamia as a heavily armed warrior. But yet, Inanna is perhaps best known as the goddess of amorous liaisons and sexual love in Gilgamesh. But then again, you know what they say, all is fair in love and war, right? So anyways, ooh, that would be a good title for this video, all is fair in love and war. So, anyways, Inanna is reproached for her maltreatment of a series of lovers, and the hero himself turns her down. And actually, more tragically, her passionate affair with the shepherd god Dumuzi ends with his death and the goddess's grief. And so, Yeah, it gets pretty freaking interesting. But Inanna was also the protectress of prostitutes. So we have the Lady of Heaven and protectress of prostitutes. All is fair in love and war, I suppose. But in this aspect, one of her most important jobs was to couple once a year with the real life king.
So, like I said, one of the most important jobs was to couple once a year with the real life king. Now, this union may have been performed ritually by the living king with a temple prostitute who stood in for the goddess. The combination of all of these aspects creates a fully rounded character who's headstrong, ruthless, and dangerously seductive to men. Whether she appears as a virgin or as sexually promiscuous, Inanna is always portrayed as a young woman free of the usual responsibilities of a wife and a mother. So, if you ask me, she is quite the goddess. No wonder her and her sister were always going at it, right? Anyways, this is Makeup and Magic, and I hope y'all enjoyed.